When I was 25, I rented a small basement apartment just outside the city. It wasn't glamorous, but it was cheap, and it had its own entrance. I liked that. The place was half underground. There were narrow windows near the ceiling. They looked out onto the bottom of the driveway. It felt private, secluded. I thought it was peaceful. Looking back now, I realise it just made me easier to watch. The first time something felt wrong was when I came home and saw my front door was slightly open. Not wide, not enough to panic, just enough to make me wonder if I'd forgotten to shut it. Nothing was missing, but my coffee table had moved a little. My slippers were turned the wrong way. I told myself I was imagining it. A few nights later, I started hearing tapping on the windows. Very soft, like fingernails. I'd look, but there was never anything there. I told my landlord. He shrugged it off, said maybe raccoons were climbing up the driveway, but the tapping kept happening. Always at night, always when I was sitting on the couch, facing away from the window, just a few taps. Sometimes 2 or 3 in a row. I started closing the blinds every evening. But even then, I could feel it, like something was outside, watching me. Then I started getting phone calls, blocked numbers. No sound, no breathing, just silence. It happened 3 nights in a row, always at the same time, 11:47 p.m. That's when I stopped sleeping properly. I'd wake up suddenly, my heart racing, listening for noises, checking every lock. One night I woke up, and the blinds near my bed were wide open. I hadn't touched them. I closed them, turned on all the lights, checked the whole apartment, even under the bed. Nothing. Then my phone lit up, a text, from an unknown number. It said, "Nice pajamas." That's when everything changed. I called the police. They looked around, wrote a report, told me to stay somewhere else for a while. I went to my sister's. She lived 40 minutes away. I stayed for 5 days. When I came back, the door was still locked. Everything looked normal, but the smell was awful. I followed it to the closet, the one near the water heater. I opened the door, and there, on top of the towels, was a pile of rotten meat, raw, blackened, covered in flies. There was a note pinned to the top, written in red ink. All capital letters, "You left." That hurt me. I moved out that night. The landlord didn't argue. He just looked at me like he already knew. I never found out who did it. No more messages, no arrests, no answers. But sometimes, late at night, I still wake up for no reason, just suddenly, wide awake, heart pounding, and every time, I check my phone, because part of me still expects to see a message, one line, one sentence. "I found you again."